Gautam Sinha Roy, Vice President of Market Strategy and Product Development Equities of Motilal Oswal Securities, joins in right now. Gautam, thanks very much for taking out the time. A quick start off with your view on the market direction.
Yeah, I think the market seems quite robust right now in terms of being driven by both by a good set of numbers that we have seen so far, especially from some of our favorite sectors, including private sector banks, consumer stocks, and now pharma stocks also reporting very strong set of numbers. So that's one factor that remains supportive of the market. This is following the positive change in macro coming from lowering of crude prices and gold prices that we have seen a couple of weeks back. So overall, net fundamentally things have improved a bit. So that is supporting markets. The other part is flows, which have also been supportive. This year we have seen that from all the emerging market funds, the allocation for India has been disproportionately higher. So both from a flows as well as results perspective, markets seem to be on a robust footing. So going forward, I think the results are largely, most of the good set of numbers would have come in another week or so. Post that, we'll have to see whether flows continue in this kind of momentum to be able to sustain, valuations up. And we're also seeing that valuations in select stocks are getting on the richer side. So, any spurt from current levels would require more support from the liquidity perspective, which is what is the key thing to watch out for now.
Gautam, quite a few large caps and mid caps as well at 52-week highs. From a fresh purchase point of view, does it make sense to go ahead and pick them up at these elevated prices, or wait for a correction, which if at all you do anticipate that to happen?
Yeah, actually it will be better to do a stock specific selection process right now rather than just chase stocks, good stocks which have become expensive as we discussed. We might not necessarily want to buy them afresh at these prices. Rather look for good quality ideas in other sectors which are still beaten down, or mid cap ideas even which have a good 1 or 2 year story. So these would be the ideas that one should look at currently rather than just chasing the stocks that have done really well.
What's your view on financials right now, Gautam?
Financials, see, clear segregation between the private banks and the PSU set continues with strong set of performances from the private sector banks and NBFCs too that we have seen so far. And PSU banks largely continue to disappoint. So while from a valuation perspective, PSU banks continue to be much cheaper, and one could hope for a recovery play there. Especially if we see an economic cycle reversal in the next couple of quarters, that could benefit PSU banks the most, especially because they are exposed to the core sector in terms of their NPA book, which has a lot of component from infrastructure and power. So there's a good trade there, but downside seems to be limited for PSU banks. But the secular story is more on the private bank side. So even with rich valuations, one can expect a long-term appreciation from private banks. So that's the perspective. Very separate set of trajectories for the private sector banks and the PSU banks.
Got it. Gautam, just stay on with us. We have to take a break right here. Nifty holding steady, 0.25% higher on the Nifty as well as the Sensex. Coming right back.
Okay, I just want to refer to what the Supreme Court is saying about the CBI affidavit which has been filed, Supreme Court's observations. These are some questions what the top court is asking. What about law to free CBI from government clutches? What is the government doing about essentially freeing the CBI from essentially government control and government sort of instructions? CBI is a caged parrot, has many masters. These are I'm assuming verbatim statements which I'm reading out, which have been sort of said by the Supreme Court. CBI's investigations should be fully independent. So these are pretty strong statements from the Supreme Court coming in. And there was also a bit about the top court saying that do not make a political issue out of all these things that came in earlier. the other part is essentially what Congress sources are telling NDTV, and I just want to put that out as well. So this is about the continuation of Ashwini Kumar as the law minister, and top Congress sources are indicating that the Congress president is not keen on the minister continuing. That is what that's what top sources in the Congress party are telling NDTV. We'll have more perspective on this with Mr. Vinod Sharma from the Hindustan Times, who should be with us shortly. But there are two things. One is the Supreme Court and what the Supreme Court is saying, and the other part which we can pull up is essentially what top Congress sources are indicating about what the Congress president wants or doesn't want as far as the law minister's continuation in his post is concerned. Mr. Vinod Sharma is with us. Mr. Sharma, thanks very much, sir. We've got the initial sort of set of remarks coming in from the Supreme Court. What do you make of it? Would these be enough for the Congress to essentially feel the heat to remove Ashwini Kumar?
No, you see, my very personal and view based on whatever limited information is taken out of the Supreme Court is that these comments are on the softer side. These are euphoric comments being made by the court in the light of the debate over the CBI's autonomy and the government's administrative control over certain aspects of its day-to-day functioning minus the investigation. Yes, indeed, they have said that they were concerned over the interventions the government has made in various cases, and they have called the CBI like a caged parrot who's got many masters. And then they're thinking aloud that whether the government will bring a legislation to correct these aberrations. Now, if this is the tone and tenor of the Supreme Court, then I wonder whether the government can live with it. These are livable. I mean, these are comments with which the government can live. This doesn't in any way mean a clean sheet for the minister in question, or what all has happened in the context of the status report that was to be sent to the Supreme Court in the Colgate scam. But in relative terms, these are comments that are less sharp than one expected them to be.
Right. Mr. Sharma, I'd request you to hold on, sir, or actually we can just call you back. I have to take this break and I'm going to come back to you, and it would be great if you can sort of chat some more, because this is important, what is coming in and what the Supreme Court is saying, implications for the government. Let's take that break. Nifty is still up about 21 odd points or so. We're back in 2 minutes.
Welcome back. Just a quick look. We're moving up further on the Sensex, 19,962 right now. Nifty is pretty much stabilized itself at that 0.25% mark on the upside, 6,059. Gautam, anything on IT as a pack right now? I mean, post earnings, you saw most of these stocks seeing short positions getting built into the system off late. Those shorts are being unwound. Some amount of enthusiasm is coming back into the sector, and companies like HCL Tech, TCS, which is still holding good market ground.
Yeah, I think IT, a great part of the outlook would be a factor of the US economy recovering, which is showing signs of happening now, and we believe that valuations are also supportive in certain cases, like Infosys and HCL Tech do have room for valuation upsides too. So if there is a revival in discretionary spend from the Western world, that would be a great boon for this sector. So after having underperformed post the Infosys results, which were quite disappointing, we are seeing a bounce back because of these reasons. And also, if currency could be another red herring here, if currency turns favorable with further depreciation of the rupee backed by dollar appreciation, that's another factor which could drive these stocks upward. While that doesn't seem to be the base case in terms of projections now of the rupee depreciating, but that could be a possibility if the dollar continues to strengthen, backed by a very strong recovery in the US economy. So there is room for upside in certain stocks there. So we would advise investors to invest in these stocks, especially Infosys and HCL Tech would be two counters which continue to look very attractive.
Sure, but how do you read into implications of the immigration bill? I mean, Canada also now tightening the news a little bit more.
This immigration issue has been on for quite a while, and when the bill does come, we'll have to see what form it takes. It will mean some margin pressure probably for most of the large Indian IT outsourcing companies. Hopefully the impact would be more gradual, so that should imply that it will give companies, and it has given some time already, it should give companies some time to adjust their business models accordingly so that they can function smoothly. So it is a business challenge which these companies are well aware of, and not something which is a big surprise which is coming suddenly. So it has given them some time to adapt to these changes.
Okay. Any important cues in the near term that you'll be watching out for with regards to the market direction?
I think the key issue to be watched out for would be two fronts. One would be continued flows of FIIs, whether the the outperformance that is being driven by disproportionately high allocation among the emerging market funds to India, whether that continues, because that has been supportive of both the rupee as well as the Indian market this year, if you see. So that's a very critical factor. The other aspect which is becoming important obviously is the political front, wherein elections now seem to be definite possibility exists that elections would be early term. How much early term is the key question, whether it would be December, whether before that. So with the political situation getting a bit murky, that's another aspect which could affect markets going forward. And the third aspect, if I may, would be the expectations about growth revival in the economy. People are expecting that the growth cycle has bottomed out and there would be recovery going forward. So we should get more data supportive of that and evidence for that to be able to justify higher valuations from here.
Got that. Gautam, thanks very much. Really appreciate the time that you've taken out to talk to us and share your views with us. That's the view coming in from Motilal Oswal Securities. Quick look at Sensex futures.